How should the animal for the sin offering presented at the temple be? Letter A, with defects. Letter B, without defects. Letter C, with blemishes. Correct answer. Letter B, without defects. In Leviticus chapter 4 verse 3, it is written that if the anointed priest sins, bringing guilt upon the people, he must offer to the Lord a young bull without defect as a sin offering for the sin he has committed. The priest shall bring the bull to the entrance of the tent of meeting, lay his hand on the bull's head, and slaughter it before the Lord. It is an act of repentance and purification, according to the Mosaic law. What was the meaning of the term holy in Leviticus? Letter A, pure and immaculate. Letter B, set apart and consecrated to God. Letter C, rich and powerful. Correct answer. Letter B, set apart and consecrated to God. In Leviticus chapter 20 verse 26, God says, "You shall be holy to me, for I the Lord am holy, and have separated you from the peoples, that you should be mine." This emphasizes the importance of holiness and the separation of God's people. What was the priest supposed to do with the fat of the offered animal? Letter A, eating. Letter B, burning on the altar. Letter C, selling. Correct answer. Letter B, burning on the altar. In Leviticus chapter 3 verse 16, it is written that the priest must burn the fat of the offering on the altar as food, producing a pleasing aroma for the Lord. All the fat belongs to the Lord. If someone was guilty of theft, they would have to return the stolen goods and add what? Letter A, a quarter of the value. Letter B, half the value. Letter C, 1/5 of the value. Correct answer. Letter B, half the value. In Leviticus chapter 6 verse 5, it is written that if someone swears falsely about something or deceives their neighbor, they must repay the full value of what was the subject of the false oath or fraud. Additionally, they must add 1/5 of the value and give it all to the owner on the day they present their guilt offering. It is an act of repentance and restitution according to Mosaic law. What happened to the person who ate the sacrificial meat while ceremonially unclean? Letter A, became ill. Letter B, was forgiven. Letter C, was eliminated from among the people. Correct answer. Letter C, was eliminated from among the people. In Leviticus chapter 7 verse 20 reads as follows, "But if anyone is unclean and eats of the flesh of a sacrifice of peace and communion offered to the Eternal, the Lord, his soul shall be banished from among his people." In short, those who are unclean should not eat the meat of the sacrifices of peace and communion, as they would be excluded from the community. It is a rule related to ritual purity and participation in sacred rituals. What is the defining characteristic of animals that are clean to eat according to the Bible? Letter A, they had sharp claws. Letter B, they had split hooves. Letter C, they had colorful feathers. Correct answer. Letter B, they had split hooves. In Leviticus chapter 11 verse 3 says the following, "Among the animals every one that hath cloven hoofs, and the cleft of the hoofs divideth in two, and ruminateth, of them ye shall eat." In short, the Israelites could eat animals that had cloven hooves and ruminated. This rule was part of the dietary and ritual purity laws in the Old Testament. How did Nadab and Abihu, who offered strange fire in the temple, die? Letter A, drowned. Letter B, consumed by fire. Letter C, stoned. Correct answer. Letter B, consumed by fire. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, we find the following account. And Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, took each his censer and put fire in them, and put incense on it, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. Then fire came out from before the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron the priest, disobeyed divine instructions by offering incense inappropriately. As a result, divine fire consumed them, resulting in their death. This event highlights the importance of obedience in religious practice. Who were the other two sons of Aaron who replaced Nadab and Abihu in the priesthood? Letter A, Eleazar and Ithamar. Letter B, Samuel and Elijah. Letter C, Joshua and Elijah. Correct answer, letter B, Eleazar and Ithamar. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 10, verse 6, we find the following. And Moses said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar his sons, Ye shall not uncover your heads, neither rend your garments, lest ye die, and lest wrath come upon all the people. But let your brethren, even all the house of Israel, mourn for the fire which the Lord hath kindled. In this context, Moses instructed Aaron and his sons not to dishevel their hair or tear their clothes as a sign of mourning. This action would avoid divine wrath and allow their brothers, the whole community of Israel, to mourn the fire that the Lord had kindled. Which insects are considered clean for consumption according to the Bible? Letter A, beetles and spiders. Letter B, cockroaches and ants. Letter C, grasshoppers and crickets. Correct answer, letter C, grasshoppers and crickets. In Leviticus chapter 11 verse 22 it says, You may eat all kinds of grasshoppers and crickets. In other words, you can eat the following insects: locusts according to their species, smooth locusts according to their species, beetles according to their species, and crickets. Which fish are forbidden to eat in the Bible? Letter A, fish without scales and fins. Letter B, large fish. Letter C, freshwater fish. Correct answer, letter A, fish without scales and fins. In Leviticus chapter 11 verse 9 to 12, tells us about permitted and forbidden foods. According to this passage, we can eat aquatic animals that have fins and scales, such as fish in the seas and rivers. However, those without fins or scales are considered unclean, and we must not eat their flesh.